And like I said, the microphones are going hot. The microphones are now hot. They are live. It's Monday. It's Monday. It's not raining hard, and it's not snowing at all. There are no hurricanes on our shores, and the world enemies of the United States are still being held at bay. They're not here. Not yet. Of course, our biggest enemies are those we work with, not y'all. Those we party with, not y'all, and exchange hate messages with every day. That's what's going on. Today, I'm the kinder and gentler Rayford Brown. Who are you?
I'm still just Chris Marks. Hi, welcome back. Welcome, kinder, gentler Rayford Brown.
And I am the Jacksonville Cardinals' biggest fan, Lee Barrows.
I saw a couple bigger ones there Friday night.
What?
I know what he's saying. I know what he's saying. That not in spirit. Not in spirit.
I read and watched more stuff on the internet and network news channels than I should have over the weekend.
Amen.
Surrendered and turned my energy to a constructive hobby that I've got, one of several. Amateur radio, and for a bit to an episode of the old short-lived comedy known as The Munsters. Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Munsters never got a lot of traction when it first took to the airwaves. More people are watching it these days. Later, they just are enthralled with it, apparently. Ironically, I was exercising, playing with my other hobby over the weekend before that, and I heard a couple of hams in the middle of a conversation about 3 o'clock in the morning, Saturday night, Sunday morning. Seriously, they were talking about an episode of The Munsters with Herman. You know, the big boy.
Oh, yeah.
Fred Gwynn.
Fred Gwynn.
Yeah.
Played an attorney on a judge on some other show.
Yeah, my cousin Vinny.
Yeah, okay. He's the lovable monster.
Yeah.
He got his ham license.
What?
He got his amateur radio license on the show, and then he down in the basement, of course, with smoke around and all that sort of stuff. And Grandpa came around too. But anyway, he was calling CQ, CQ, CQ. This is W6. And I forgot the call letters, but it was a fake call because it had too many letters and an extra number in it. But it was a West Coast, California originated call sign. But anyway, he was out there and he was calling, talking with people, and it was kind of cute. The show went on. I looked for it. I went to YouTube and Munsters Ham Radio, and there it was.
I'll be darned.
So it was.
That was a great. It was really a great show.
I think
only lasted a couple of years.
Yeah.
Late Saturday afternoon, I turned off all the news, and I rested most of the weekend anyway. But I turned off all the news, and I started watching movies. Any movie that flickered on the TV, I watched it. Good movies. Dumb movies, any kind of movie, I just could not tolerate. I stayed off of social media.
Good thing.
For the most part, and if I had breaking news, I would just peek long enough to see the headline to make sure it wasn't our state burning or something. Other than that, I had to walk away from it.
Yeah, well, I didn't do it. I didn't. Did we get one alert somewhere? I think.
Yes, we had an alert.
I forgot what it was. Georgia.
It was West Virginia, I believe it was, or Georgia.
It was Georgia.
It was Georgia, and the reason why we got it in North Carolina is because it took place a mile from the border with us, and
Georgia.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it was Georgia. It first came out.
It was Georgia,
but they said it was within a mile of the.
North Carolina. What? There is an area there.
Yeah,
Georgia, South Carolina,
right.
And North Carolina. You have a spot. You can see all three states from one spot there.
In fact, I
don't
think I have it anymore on my phone, but because I know that. Why are we getting that? And then I saw a news story later that said the reason why they sent it out to North Carolina, and it was for a suspect they were looking for that had assaulted a deputy sheriff.
Right. Yeah.
So-
Law enforcement. I don't know what kind.
Did you know what's interesting? Just real quick. So as we prepare for our mass and things, we all have our phones turned down stuff. It doesn't matter. That alert will come through. Turn down
Mhm.
because we were all getting ready.
Everybody's
God's speaking.
Yeah.
be like, yes, God.
What was it? The God line or something? Remember that? There was a show about that.
There was a show with Burgess Meredith, and he played God. Is that the one?
I don't.
Oh no. George Burns played God.
Yeah.
In Oh
movie.
God and Oh God too.
No, but there was a
TV
there was
show.
a
show.
TV, there was a TV show, and it was like the God line or whatever. It was some telephone line where
I don't remember.
whatever it was.
It's
Anyway,
I was too young.
That Monsters was about the coolest thing I could do at that point in time. It was about the only funny thing that I saw all weekend. The news and socialist media proved that indeed all haters, just like I've always said, haters will hate.
So much hate.
The idiots are still blasting the victim and all of this conservative Charlie Kirk. They're still blasting him and as he waits to be buried.
Yeah.
That's
disgusting.
what's wrong with people?
You know,
I turned everything off and said, "No, I don't need it. Don't care."
I had to because it's locally, it's statewide. It is, of course, throughout the nation. If you don't like somebody, fine. But to put the garbage that you put on social media, come on, it tells me what kind of person you are. All right, here's the latest. The Durham police chief. Let me read you what she put on X. I won't stop being outraged at the way this man is being honored by the people that I thought I knew. This man who disguised himself as a Christian, shamed Black women like me, believed that gun violence was necessary to preserve the Second Amendment, and created a culture of divisiveness.
He never said that.
That's right. Through hate speech. So all at the time of his death, I chose to give him the empathy that he didn't believe in, and certainly didn't believe that people like me deserved. But to know many of you still support him despite this horrible rhetoric.
So how did she feel about Michael Brown? Michael Brown out up there in Missouri, who walked into a store, the big bully that he was, the big large frame bully that he was, and overpowered, strong-armed a clerk, a foreign national, strong-armed him and stole cigarillos from him, bullied his way around, didn't care that he knew who he was or anything else. What you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? I'm bigger, I'm meaner, I'm badder, I've got a record, I'm just tough. And then he gets out and walks right down the middle of the street. He was walking down the middle of the road. So a police officer sees him and tells him he needs to get out of the road before his own safety, because he was right around the curve. If you go back and check, cars coming around the curve, they don't always stay on their side of the road, and some of them hug the center line and some of them cross over the center line coming around a curve. Have you ever noticed that? That's the way people do. Cops notice that. So this police officer pulled up to him and told him he should get off the road. And this guy wants to be a bully to the cop. Punches the cop. Sitting in his car, he walks up to the window. He gets into a tussle. Do you not think that if this police officer had been as he was and resisted and fought back, that this guy would have taken his gun that he had? Yes, he would have. What would he have done? He would have killed the cop. There's not a doubt in my mind. And the police officer felt his life was in jeopardy, so he got his gun and he shot the man to get him off of him. You don't have to have a gun to overpower a cop or anybody else. You don't have to be that. This guy, there was a cop, a highway patrolman in Bladen County, I think I had to go down to, who was beaten with his own flashlight to within an inch of his life until he could finally get his gun out and shoot the guy. That's when the police department, or the highway patrol, switched from 9mm to 40 calibers because he shot him 5 times before he could stop him at point blank range.
I know there's been a lot of people fired
And they're rightfully
airline people, government people. But I tell you what was interesting is a number they gave out last night. Over 3,500 campuses in the United States have asked for a turning point to have an organization on their campuses.
Good. It's about time people saw the light, and this one people should have seen the light.
Yes.
You know, I believe in your First Amendment right, but I also am a firm believer that you are responsible for the words you put out there.
Go to any theater in the world in the middle of that movie and holler fire, and let me know how your First Amendment rights are going to work out for you.
Exactly. So I'm just saying that First Amendment gives you the right to speak freely, but does it give you the right to spew hate?
Nope. Well, yes, it does, but until it infringes upon somebody else's rights.
And then those crying because they've lost their jobs. There was a teacher, was it here in North Carolina, Chris? I'll have to find this story, that was actually caught on video speaking to her class and talking about Charlie Kirk in a negative way and using hate speech and stuff. To a classroom. No, we don't need to be doing that. Like them or not, we don't need to be doing that. That's not your right to inflict your opinions on your students.
If you've been playing Rip Van Winkle all weekend, let me explain to you. Kurt, who was the founder and host of Turning Point, shot to death in Utah last Wednesday. His assassin got away, but a man that authorities believe to be the killer was turned over to the federal authorities last Friday morning by none other than his daddy. There are elements that live and walk among us who applaud Kirk's murder. Those are some very sick people, regardless of your political leanings or your personal lifestyle. I don't care how you lean. When you applaud, you reminded me, and ironically, coincidentally, whichever word you want to pick to describe it, Thursday was 9/11. The 24th anniversary of the slaughter of more than 3,000 Americans in New York and Washington and Pennsylvania back in 2001. And my most vivid memory, other than the actual falling, jumping from the buildings, my biggest recollection from that day, the one that made me madder than the others made me sick, was when the networks picked up video from, I forgot which one of the Middle Eastern countries it was, where the men and the women, particularly the women, celebrating in the streets, celebrating the slaughter of 3,000 men, women, and children of all faiths, all races, all colors, all gathered together in those two towers, the Pentagon, and aboard that other ill-fated plane, Flight 93. That made me mad. The other stuff made me just sick.
I'm gonna put a link on
that
here.
Made me mad. And when I hear about this teacher you're talking about these other individuals who are applauding his death, he got what he deserved. With some of the stuff. He shouldn't have been talking like that.
I just put a link on our Facebook in our comment section. When y'all have time, go back, or you can click it on now. It'll open in another page and won't take you from the show. Just look at the list of stories, story after story after story about teachers being fired or under investigation for their vile remarks.
For you newly ordained teachers, those of you who now have your teaching certificates but have found it tough to find a job, there are some openings. When you lose your job under certain conditions like this, guess what else you lose? Likely ability to get another job. And in addition to that, there goes that retirement plan. Oh my goodness gracious. See ya. out the window.
Well,
It
Rayford,
goes.
I always looked up to my teachers when I was in school. They were my mentors,
Mhm.
and I always put them on a pedestal because I always thought of them being smart. They're teaching me. And, I enjoyed all my teachers. I can't think of one teacher I had that I didn't like. I liked them all. But we send our kids to school. We send them to learn. Now, when I was in school, Chris, you were the same way because you and I were close to,
great.
in
And now you're going to
grades.
say that I wasn't.
You had graduated a little ahead of
A
us,
little.
but you can attest to this. What did we learn in school about government? We learned about the Independence, Declaration of Independence. We learned about the Constitution. We learned about the three different
Branches of the
government. We learned about how to vote and what the voting process is all about. I never once had a teacher say JFK is an idiot or, sit there and get personal about any president.
Now, when the president was killed, when he was murdered by another lone gunman,
Right.
I don't care what the folks say, all evidence points to that. When he was murdered by this lone gunman, we did not hear. And I mean, you got to understand,
The whole nation
JFK
mourned.
did not win a landslide victory against Richard Nixon in 1960. Okay. He did not. He was not the great savior in 1960. There were a whole lot of people that did not like Catholics right up front.
Mm-hmm.
But in November of 1963, we didn't hear that kind of stuff. I mean, if it was, you would have been hiding it.
Yeah,
you would have been hiding in the basement, spouting it. As far that would have been, that would have been bad. Was he the greatest president ever? No. First of all, no way to know because he was only in office for a little over 2 years, 2.5 years.
I was
time he was killed, so he didn't have time to get his feet wet.
I was very, very young when JFK was assassinated, and I can remember I was at Trauma Terrace Elementary School. That's where I was at, and I remember that when all that happened right away, they let school out. Yeah. And I lived right across the street, 2941 Garapan Place in TT. Anyway, I remember well. But that was my first knowledge of president, what a president is, what a president does. And I started learning from there. And that was like my introduction into what is the president of the United States, and I remember watching that as a kid, watching it in school. There was no vicious talk. There was no hate spread. No. The whole nation came together in sorrow. Regardless of what side you were on, they came together. We don't see that now.
No. You go back to when Bobby Kennedy was assassinated.
Oh, right.
Same thing. There was no hate.
No. We had a hatred, but it was a united hatred for the individuals that did it. And in Kennedy's, Robert Kennedy's case, Sirhan, we all thought, oh my God, look at that. Why was he even here? We were anti. That's we put our hatred in the right direction towards the person that did it. Now, and anybody that supported the person that did it.
I personally do not recall of any hatred, any riots, any buildings being burned when Martin Luther King passed away. I recall people coming together. I don't know what you may remember, but I don't remember there being riots.
There were riots, but there were riots that were because he was killed.
Right.
Not against him.
But do you recall it being such a political division?
No, it was a racial divide. And,
right.
And it was a black community blaming a white community at that point in time. Yeah, I've lived through that in fact, I was working at a radio station in Bradenton, Florida, in the middle of the swamp.
I've just never seen so much hate.
And the sheriff came knocking on the door and make sure you keep your doors locked, and started telling us what was going on because we are sitting at a radio station. We had AP wire spewing it all out. But he said, we're getting some word down here in Bradenton that there may be some people that are really upset. So call us if you need us. Okay.
Yeah, if you going back to Charlie Kirk, if you've ever watched any of his podcasts, or if you've ever watched when he goes on to a college campus and he debates with the young people, I watched students walk up. One girl walked up and just knocked the hat right off of Charlie's head. She got so mad, and he just sat there calmly. And his security went after her. He said, "No, let her go."
Yeah.
And he goes, "No, we're not going to have her arrested." And I saw other students that would go up there and just accuse him of so much. One girl was up there saying, "You're so ugly. What's wrong with your face?" And going on and on.
Just picking on stupid.
And you know
stuff.
what? He just sat there calmly. And when they settled down, he gave his side of the debate. And I would say he won just about every single debate, too. He knew stuff. But I think that's what's wrong with a lot of us these days. We think we know what we're talking about because we pick up stuff on social media. We pick up stuff on national media. How much over the last week were we chatting back and forth? And we'd say, this happened. And then 10 minutes later, no, it didn't. Even the national media was getting it all wrong and screwed up. It was just crazy.
Back everything down a little bit. Well, the difference in Kirk and in the majority of the other people who are on the circuits, like they're on TV, he took it to the field. He took it to the people. He went out other than just being on the tube, which you don't get feedback on the tube. He held situations like he did last week in Utah. That probably will come to an end. If anybody else wants to pick it up, I doubt if they will.
Oh, they said they're going.
They're going to?
Yes. Turning Point USA said, "Oh no."
Well, then they will need to get a very large group of people around them for security reasons. And I would hope that the law enforcement in those communities would check a perimeter out beyond 200 yards. Yeah. Because it's pointed out here, it's not just 50, 60 yards. It's not up close and personal. Most presidents get shot up close and personal, if you ever thought about it. Kennedy got shot with a rifle from a distance of 35 yards. That's like
President Reagan. How close was that?
Up close and personal. I'll go back in time. Lincoln, first one, point blank, basically, right behind him. Other individuals, was it McKinley? Which one died a few days, like a week after? He died of an infection from the gunshot wound that he got. I forgot who that was.
McGovern? Was
not McGovern. Close?
No, but was he shot close?
McGovern?
I'm sorry. No, not
anyway, I had a bunch to invade the White House. Who was president? Our buck stops here was president, I think, at the time, and had a group to invade
Reagan?
and shots. No, the buck stops here. No.
Who said that?
This is going to be trivia now, isn't it?
No, I'm not.
Who dropped the bomb? Who ordered the bomb to be dropped?
I'm not doing
signed
trivia.
off on it.
I'm just the buck stops here. I'm trying to think. Look, my mind is clouded this morning. Going back
was
to
it J. Edgar Hoover, perhaps?
I don't remember. I don't remember him saying that. I don't. He
How
was
about Benjamin Franklin?
They were all before my time, Rayford.
All right, let's take a quick glimpse at the web.
Does that sound valid?
It was Harry Truman.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
And just real quick, they are going ahead with the Turning Point USA. They are going ahead with their annual America Fest conference in Phoenix.
Are they
this
going
December.
To be outside in the public's view? Is the point?
I don't know.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
How many people? How many other? Do you ever see any of the other talk shows? Situation? Are they out there in the public's eye? Well, do you ever see the View out there doing things like this?
No, but I'm glad you brought up the View because
how did that work out for them? Let's take a weather break and we'll do that when we come back.
No.
Looking at the Onslow Bay marine forecast after 20 nautical miles gale warning in effect through tonight. Today, offshore, northerly winds 20 to 25 knots increase. I can hear you. 20 to 25 knots, increasing to 25 to 30 this afternoon. Gusts up to 35 seas, 6 to 9 feet, 2 to 4 near shore. Sounds and rivers rough, becoming very rough in the afternoon.
Yes.
That means rougher. A chance of showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon today. Tomorrow, westerly winds 15 to 20, gusts up to 25 in the morning, seas 4 to 6 feet, 2 to 3 near shore, sounds and rivers choppy. Wednesday, first day of decent boating weather this week. Westerly winds 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4 feet, sounds and rivers a moderate chop.
Today, mostly cloudy with a high near 73, north wind 11 to 14 miles per hour with a gust as high as 25. Expect showers and thunderstorms throughout the day. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms are likely, mostly cloudy with a low around 62. Tuesday, showers and thunderstorms with mostly cloudy skies and a high near 72. And Wednesday, a slight chance of afternoon showers, mostly cloudy with a high near 78.
Yeah, I got our weather spotters out there for the live and local weather spotters here from the Onslow Amateur Radio Club. We got folks every morning they check in, which is great. I love to hear it. Wrong radio.
Which one is it?
To the right.
This one?
That one that's lit up. Thank you.
Was that on her test?
Apparently not.
I'm kidding, Lee.
Oh, Randy over there from the Onslow Amateur Radio Club, stationed in Southwest this morning on his go-kart. It said the wind was blowing about 2 miles an hour, 64 degrees. No rain at that time. Joe down in the borough, light rain at that time of morning. It was before 6 o'clock, 64 degrees. He had already had a quarter inch, 0.26 inches of rain overnight. Lee out in back swamp, no rain at the time, but the humidity was up high, 90%, 64 degrees, no rain, and wind was light, about 2 miles an hour. Dale over in River Bend, 64, 93% humidity. There was not a lot of rain happening at the time, but there was some clouds and the radar looked like it was going to, but most of Onslow County was going to have light rain. The borough right along the coastal area there was the exception. Ken out, and he's normally from Onslow Bay. Ken checked in this morning via one of our extra ways that our hams can do things via what they call the Echo Link.
Yes.
He was able to access our repeater here, and he's in Corolla.
Yes.
Up on the Outer Banks, the northern part of the Outer Banks, 70 degrees there, 70% humidity, no rain at the time. In Richlands Creek at 65 degrees, no rain. Here at the studio, at that time it was 61. It is now 62. And at the time it was 98% humidity, and it's now 96% humidity. And the winds are blowing 2 to 3 miles an hour out of the southwest. They're running still out of the southwest at about 2 miles an hour currently. And no rain at that time. It has been drizzling, but there's still no accumulation in the good old rain gauge.
Woodlands?
It was 64 degrees. And rain gauge was 0. Humidity was 200% with about a 1 mile an hour wind.
So, yeah, it's going to be thick today. We're going to have some rain off and on again.
And the more the hair grows,
Yeah, it's going to be. It's a frizz day. It's a 98% frizz day, right?
Oh my God!
Not for me.
It's not for you and me. We're good to go. No big deal. Well, we got through a week or so without having to do play-by-play on anything tropical. Looked like we were likely to have that period of peace extended as dry weather along the East Coast was likely going to put a little bit of a damper on a tropical wave that had slipped off the African coast over the weekend. However, it's still a long ways away, but the system dubbed now disturbance number 1 is likely going to develop into a tropical depression within a few days. After that, there's nothing but speculators coming to life. The disturbance is mostly an area of disorganized thunderstorms, an area that's meandering over the Atlantic in a general west to northwest direction. That means somewhere between the Yucatan of Mexico and somewhere around New York City is in that west to northwest direction currently is. In other words, nothing has been nailed down. So don't get excited. Conditions are currently looking pretty good for further development. The National Hurricane Center has all eyes on disturbance 1 right now. I guess we're going to have to keep our eyes open, keep a close watch on it, and post it as needed. Right now, it's nothing. Possibility, likelihood of something, but how long it will last, we don't know, and if it will develop into anything significant. Now, did we do everything else?
Let's see, 910-333-0139 if you want to call and give us talk about anything. We have some guests coming in this morning.
Yeah, we do. Coming in here very shortly. We've got first one, then we got, oh, yeah. I got to behave, right?
We got Master
Sergeant Major Mayfield.
He's
first.
Yeah.
I was
talking more about the 8 o'clock guess.
I was talking about the 8 o'clock guess. We're going to have to, let's see, what have I got to get rid of your dope, guys? Go ahead and get rid of your dope.
Would you stop?
We have a call already.
We're bringing the dog with him. That's Jennifer.
Oh, okay, Jennifer, I'm going to tell you ahead of time. Okay, I got the point spread wrong.
It was a good game.
It was a good game.
I'm still hoarse from screaming at the TV. But my local boys, they got their butt handed back to them, so they packed them up and sent them back from Oak Ridge to lick their wounds. And then, of course, Tennessee got right down to overtime, and somebody had to lose. You know, I was at a craft event yesterday, and a man and woman come by my booth, and she had on a Georgia sweatshirt. And as a decent human being, I looked at her and said, congratulations. And that's going to tie into a little bit of what, you know, I have very strong views on what has happened this past week.
Yeah.
And it is a sick and twisted world where somebody, first of all, somebody goes out and kills somebody just because it is implied that he doesn't like what the man was saying. Now, in my personal opinion, you go and you look at what was inscribed on bullet casings.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm going to tell you, I would be willing to bet that if the word fascist had not been used so much against the current administration during the leading up to the election and all that, if that one word had not have been used so much, half of these people, these young kids, would not have even known what that word meant.
Not a clue.
That word would not have even crossed their little, not even fully formed brain if it had not been used so much.
Absolutely.
So, yes, I put a whole lot of blame on all of this from, I mean, when you have the current vice president of the United States asked point blank in the interview, do you believe Donald Trump is a fascist? And she says, yes, I do. I mean, and then you have these young kids that are looking up to these people, and well, Lord, if they say that they're evil, but that's still, he is the one that pulled the bullet. I'm getting off topic a little bit, but for these people to go out and condone what he did is beyond twisted in my life, in my mind. I don't care who you are. I don't give a rat's butt who you are. For somebody just to go out and take a gun and just shoot somebody, it is, and then other people are, well, hateful words, you know, that they bring on hateful actions and this, that, the other. I'm like, people, you're crazy. I don't get it. I want somebody to make any of that make sense. It's just, I cannot fathom it. I don't care. I don't care how much there is a freedom of speech, but now, by God, you need to keep that freedom of expression to yourself.
Good point.
There's a big difference in that. And you have people of influence, whether it be political, whether it be entertainment, whatever. You have people of influence that get up here and spew this crap, and then if something like this happens, and I agree, it is going to be a turning point for this country, and I can only hope and pray to the good Lord above that, yes, I do believe in, that it is a turning point for the good. Now, I did see where I forget how many thousands of turning point charters has been applied for.
Over 3,500.
That's how many they had.
Well, no, no, ma'am. So, Jennifer, since the tragic shooting, over 3,500 campuses in the United States have applied for Turning Point.
Okay. But yes, thousands.
Yep.
Yes. And I can only hope that this is a turning point, because somewhere along the line, I was thinking about this, and I know I'm not going to word it correctly, but somewhere along the line of the push for the inclusion of all these other, and I'm not saying whatever anybody does, that's between them and their God. I can only answer for myself. But in all the inclusion, the push to include the whole alphabet and everything else, there became an exclusion of anybody that wasn't in those groups.
Okay.
And I don't know if that's exactly, I know what I'm trying to convey, but I know I'm not saying it. It's not coming out right. But when everything, we need to, just because they think they're a raccoon and want to walk around in a furry costume, that's fine. There was such a push to include, but at the same time, there was that push to exclude anybody that didn't believe in that, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Jennifer, thank you for your comments. I hope you get a little rest, because I know it sounds like you had a rough weekend trying to deal with some of this stuff.
Well,
it'll be all right.
It'll be all right.
It'll be all right. We'll get around to it. I'm going to eat some boiled peanuts in a little bit. We'll be fine.
All right.
And Jennifer, real quick correction. It was over 35,000.
Yeah.
I thought that it had gone from, a substantial amount to it just blew up.
It did.
All right, Jennifer,
all right.
We'll go around. Thank you. We do have to remember a couple things too. We're still having to deal with the ultra right side, the ultra extremist right. The extremists in any group of individuals is something else. Some of these people think they are righteous. Okay, that just like this kid thought he was righteous. Mm-hmm. I don't lean that way, but regardless of the views of one American, especially one like Kirk, who was certainly not a right-winger, Americans do not need to be killing Americans. We got plenty of other people we can kill. All right.
Amen.
Just
Yeah, we have someone in the studio.
I got a rock and roll on that one. That I'm not. Until the accused shooter has his day in court, we do not need to promote a lynching culture either. Then there's the fact over the weekend of the accused being in a romantic relationship with a man, a transgender male who's working towards womanhood. I don't care. The conservatives came unglued. I don't care. Not my thing, and it does not cause me any concern whatsoever. Concern that anyone, hard right or hard left, with so much hatred that needs to kill other people who disagree with them. No. Get over it. Grow up. That's just not the way we need to roll. With every upcoming election, we, the real Americans in this country, need to make sure that we put people in office who can serve not one side or the other, but all of us'ns.
Citizens, human beings.
There you go.
And then dogs and cats over here and birds over there.
And the last time I checked, I was bleeding. I bled over the weekend again. I bleed red. But it's blue when it's inside until it meets the air, and then it turns red.
There we go. See?
And you do the same thing. And y'all, I don't know about y'all, but I know I do. I know the sergeant what changed his mind, his rank. He's Sergeant General now. Forget that.
Sergeant General, that's right.
I wish.
Sergeant Major Mayfield. Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm outstanding. Still on top of the sod, still doing what we do.
One step at a time. One step at a
That's
time.
right. One breath at a time. I'm down to that, bro.
I'm counting them every day.
Have you recovered from talking to Kathy this weekend? Have you recovered from talking to Kathy?
Oh, absolutely. 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 We had a good time.
You spent some quality telephone time?
Quality telephone time. Getting a good education, a good orientation, so bringing things into perspective for my own self and stuff. We've got the quest for the Major's Medal of Honor is still going on. All this other foolishness and everything, that's what we say, distractions. I'm saying now all of a sudden we're down another tributary. And this is, my thing is, I'm a Marine veteran as well, 3 Purple Hearts, a whole number, and no one out there to advocate for what happened on this hill, that hill, the other, because I got medevaced out. So, my Marines don't know where the heck I went. They were doing fighting war when I got medevaced on the chopper.
They may have been thinking about you, but their concern was keeping their butts without worrying about some lead.
Yeah, and then so obviously we get separated from each other, so the paperwork that should go through doesn't go through, and etc. This is not that kind of case.
No.
This is not that kind of situation with Major Capers and the quest to, for him to receive the Medal of Honor. And this is a local person. I am tripped that Jacksonville, North Carolina, the home of Camp Lejeune, with all this military stuff we got here, we have a Medal of Honor candidate, and ain't nobody doing a daggum thing about it, government or nothing. I am ticked.
Well, I think there is a group there in Washington, D.C., that is standing in the way of a lot of stuff. You know why? Because they're going to wait for him to die, then they don't have to worry about it.
That's exactly what I've said.
Sorry.
That's exactly what I've said to Lieutenant Colonel Bill Gurfine. He was one of my lieutenants, young lieutenants, when I reported over here from 6 years in Japan. And we went to Panama and fought together, did what we did down there with Noriega and stuff like that. And he is retired now as Lieutenant Colonel, and he's up there in the D.C. area, and he is the man carrying that part of the ball. I'm not talking about the caregivers here in Jacksonville. I'm talking about the person out there going up against the legislation and stuff. For this.
And unfortunately, there's one man that's in the way of a lot of stuff out there. And I've got a really good friend, another Marine.
All right.
From the Tet Offensive, his 30 days there, and 500 years as an FBI agent. I got one man that's been fighting for other Marines to get the same thing.
Exactly.
And the only reason they don't get it is because there's no officers left alive who could verify what you said. What?
Again, you just hit a bullseye right on me.
What?
Okay. You hit a bullseye on my
son. Yeah, but that's what's going on. There's one guy, and there's one guy, there's an appeals process. This one guy said no. There's an appeals process, but this one guy was buddy real good buddies, and we know what kind of whole buddies that is. You Lima Charlie?
I didn't say it.
Yeah. What?
Thank you, man. Nothing.
No, thing. But anyway, he was real good friends with the guy who was in charge of the appeals process too. And he told him, he said, that other guy doesn't deserve it. So he carried his influence from I say no to this other guy who said, well, I'm supposed to hear an impartial review, and no, he was tainted. So he said no.
Mm-hmm. Well,
that's the problem.
I can't. I don't mean to get crazy about it, but right now the situation that is occurring for I look at my commander in chief.
Mm-hmm.
Any president of the United States, I don't care what their politics are, is our commander in chief.
Yep,
that's
military
right.
people,
and the buck should
so
stop there.
I don't
That's
get
right.
to really jump and buck myself up in his face and start talking a bunch of smack because that's my boss.
Yes.
That's right.
I'm still a retired military person, and I'm still obligated by the Constitution of the
Until
United States of
January
America.
20th of whatever the next go round is.
Well,
And then
again,
you'll find over.
I get paid.
Mhm.
I'm retired. I get paid for this, just like a retired police officer, a retired fire person. They are still, in my opinion, they are still representative of that agency because they're
Yep.
receiving money for having served it. Even though they're done, they're still obligated.
Mhm.
And so I am not going to go running my mouth and talking bad about the president, my commander in chief, regardless of whether I agree or disagree with their politics. I'm not going to do that. Okay.
I don't care about
and
their
if
politics.
I'm just saying, you don't,
I don't
but I'm saying I will do that in a certain kind of way as a military person, because if I'm reactivated, and I said Desert Shield, no, really,
It can happen.
trust me, Desert Shield, Desert Storm, when that sucker came up, a 4-deuce mortar had gone into mothballs years back. Okay. When I went to Vietnam, 60 millimeter mortar had been in the Cosmoline. It had been in the mothballs, right?
Retired.
They pulled that sucker out.
Yeah.
So when I
There was
checked
a
in
battleship.
Vietnam,
There was a battleship in Vietnam, if you'll recall, that was recalled to duty,
yes,
put in service.
yes.
It had
And
been
see,
mothballed.
that's what I'm saying, as far as I'm concerned, for Jacksonville, North Carolina. We are the mothball things here, human beings.
much.
And so what about the major can't fight his own fight. He cannot.
All right.
Can I
What
just
else
a
we
little,
got?
little Chris, little history.
Mhm.
So
Chris.
Chris,
Hey,
anyway,
we just changed it.
So-
Not a little history. It's Chris's history, also known as Christery.
Christery.
Mystery.
so-
Oh, yeah.
Christery.
So the South Carolina legislature passed a bill to go forward to send up to Congress.
Mhm.
There is a bill, HR 3377, waiting to get voted on in D.C.
Mhm.
It's very simple. Congress vote on it, approve it, Senate approve it, the president will sign it. The South Carolina got the bill approved by their legislature.
Mhm.
Now it's sitting up in D.C., waiting for those people to get together to do something. Do something that should be done. I know Major Capers. I know as Jim from Tree Frog Records,
Uh-huh.
where I bought all my vinyl. Yeah, I mean it did.
I mean,
But
facts
he-
are facts.
It is, and he deserves this, and it's just ridiculous.
It is
That's my point.
absolutely. He is older than me. He's my senior, and I've got my own issues, with awards and things like that as well. But, right is right. I'll get to me next. But I've been in this man's house. I've been in his presence. And of course, as a recon guy, as a person doing recon, it's not the same as me as a grunt. I'm an 03 by choice, pure infantry. Okay, pure infantry. But when recon gets in trouble, who do they call to get him out? Infantry. Just the 03s, a bunch of dumb butt plate grunts, right? So, this is elite. He's an elite person. And so there's not a lot of witnessing going on as to what occurs when these little small units are functioning.
That's right.
When Rayford is under the ocean out there, swimming around playing with the fishies, don't ask Mayfield what he's doing because I ain't going in there with him.
Yeah.
See, so you know what I'm saying? But that is a level way beyond my capacity to actually judge and say, did he get in? Did he get out? Did he get it done? Were his troops there to deal with it, a witness to it? So what are we fiddle farting around with this thing for? I don't understand.
Yeah. We got a call or two, but just 1 second. It's kind of like the reason I got into photography.
Yes, sir.
At a very young age, primarily because of underwater. I was diving. I wanted to. My dad was not going to get in the water. My mom was not going to get in the water. I was seeing things that 99.9997.3% of the people in this world will never see up close and personal.
That's exactly.
So I took pictures of it.
Yes.
That's how I got into it.
Yes.
How's that for a history lesson?
And see the
with
thing,
a $50 plus $1.50 used camera.
and what I'm saying is wouldn't it be nice if we also had that Instacam out there when the major and his troops were doing what the heck they were doing, but then somebody's got to come in and give testimony. And when, like myself, when your commanding officer is dead, when this person's dead, anyone that can verify it, everybody that lived through it knows what you did, but they're not the people who can write the citations.
There you go. All right, we got a call. Morning, you're live and local. Who's this?
Hey, how you doing? This is Paul Gerfine. How's everybody today?
Doing fine.
Doing good, sir.
Motivated.
I'm sorry.
Outstanding. Well, I'm just listening to the story about Major Capers, and one of his lead advocates been fighting for him for a while, and I've had the honor of serving with, at the time, Gunnery Sergeant Mayfield. We served together down in Panama. To hear him on the radio. And
were you down there in Panama back about 1989?
That's right. That's right.
I remember that place. It was pretty.
Yeah.
It was.
It was
Jungles learned how to fight with Gunnery Sergeant Mayfield. He brought all of his experience from Vietnam and taught all us young bucks how to actually be Marines.
And live to tell about it.
It sounds like the Bull Gerfine. Sounds like Lieutenant Colonel Gerfine. Is that you, sir?
It is. It is. Indeed.
Carl. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. But no, just for your information, Lieutenant Colonel Gerfine is the quarterback, the running back, the forward, the flank, the everything dealing with carrying the fight. You know, the fight forward for the major. He is the person that is that key spokesperson in D.C. That's where he lives. So he deals with it and travels all over doing it. Now, as I said before, what the major does in his home, that's home care, home give, that's something different. This is the person's out there, the advocate, the person with the stick trying to deal with. So tap into this. This is, you know,
well, Lieutenant Colonel, thank you for doing that, because you know there are fewer and fewer of those kinds of people like you and the Sergeant Major here taking care of business.
I have a question.
Yes.
Are you the David Gerfine that is the CEO of the American nonprofit organization United American Patriots?
Yes, I am.
There you
Give
go.
us charge, right?
All right. Well,
so
thank you, sir.
So
thank you.
What did Sergeant Major bring you? The head person in charge. So now,
thank you.
I don't know that. We'll talk about later.
That's all right. I know. I didn't bring you Rudy in the rear rank with a rusty rifle. Not a problem.
Well, I may be one and the same, depending on who you ask.
Hush. Don't tell that.
As a Lieutenant Colonel, I got both an 1851 musket in here, and I got a Russian SKS hanging around in case you need something that you're familiar with.
Sounds good.
But sir, if you don't mind, if you could share with the audience, ourselves, you know, some of the stuff that you go through as an individual on a day-to-day basis to deal with this quest, and what you would recommend that we here, especially hometown, what can we do, or what should you would recommend we do to enhance what you're doing?
Well, I appreciate you asking. There's first of all, there's a lot of great information out there about Major Capers. People can go to uap.org. You can see on our website, there's a petition there. But there's also disinformation that's traveling around about Major Capers. And so I just want to point out one key thing is that the Major deserves the Medal of Honor. He should have received it back in 1967.
Yeah.
The commanding general of 3rd Marine Division, General Bruno Hochmuth, actually came and visited with Major Capers, at the time Second Lieutenant Capers, who had just received the battlefield commission just 5 months prior. He was Staff Sergeant Capers, and went and visited with him and all of his wounded Marines. And every single one of his Marines told the story of heroism, incredible heroism, and how they wouldn't be alive if it weren't for then Second Lieutenant Capers. General Hawkins was so impressed that he actually said in front of them to Major Capers, Second Lieutenant Capers, I've never heard of anything so heroic and amazing, and we're going to make sure that we get you the Medal of Honor. Well, what ended up happening is that general ended up dying in a helicopter crash, and with him, the Medal of Honor was lost. Well, what happened was the officer in charge of Capers' unit at the time, who didn't realize the general's intent, wasn't at the Battle of Phu Loc. He was actually joining the unit just 3 days prior. He decides just to write up the lieutenant for an end of tour award, which most
an end of tour award.
Yeah,
really.
An end of tour
Which is a
award.
Bronze
So
Star.
because he was a heroic Marine, and he wrote him up for a Bronze Star with Valor as an end of tour award, an award that, quite frankly, Sergeant Major Mayfield should be wearing as well. But what happens is a lot of awards, they get misplaced or whatever, but what ends up happening is Capers gets his Bronze Star with V. And for those people who know awards, you realize that's 4 steps below the Medal of Honor. So that just sat for quite some time until around 2006, when all of a sudden all of his missions, and he'd been on many combat missions, dozens, many of them were classified. He's worked for the CIA as well. That what ends up happening is when all this comes to light, and he has a reunion with his Marines, this is in 2006, the acting commanding general of 2nd Marine Division, that's Major General Williams, goes to this reunion and starts hearing of all these stories. And he does a deep dive, he does the research, and his research, he comes out with the same conclusion. Capers deserves a Medal of Honor. So he ends up, he was doing a change of command. He hands it over to Major General Gaskins. He elevates it to Lieutenant General Stalder. They bring it up to Headquarters Marine Corps. Headquarters Marine Corps reviews this and says, yes, we definitely need to upgrade this award. And so they did. And they upgraded it to the Silver Star. And people say, wait a second. I thought he was supposed to be getting the Medal of Honor. Each of his battlefield commanders, even the guy who initially put him into the Bronze Star, when he knew of Capers' heroic actions, he ends up saying, no, this guy, I didn't realize this. He deserves a Medal of Honor. So why only the Silver Star? Well, it was what's called a material procedural error. And this is where the bureaucrats up there at Headquarters Marine Corps, they say, well, we're going to upgrade this end of tour award. But the highest you can upgrade an end of tour award is to the Silver Star. The Medal of Honor is not an end of tour award. So since that time, we've had the Commandant from that time, General Conway, has weighed in, and he said, yeah, my board screwed up. This should have gone to a Medal of Honor board, and he should have received the Medal of Honor because he deserves the Medal of Honor. So this is the fight that's been going on now, because in 2010, he was awarded the Silver Star, and since then, we continue to fight now. This is over 2 decades to ensure that this gets the proper attention it deserves.
And sir, let me interrupt you a second and just punctuate it by saying this. This is not something that you can judge this person, the major, on based on walking up in and seeing him today. And that's what people tend to do as far as is concerned. They get in attitudes and this, that, and the other. We're talking about something that occurred on the field of battle years ago, and et cetera. And because I'm a horse's rear end today and I'm a gruff, rough old person today and stuff like that, that has nothing to do with the other point. And that's the other side of what I wanted to emphasize is politicians or whomever. I don't want to jump on anyone in particular, but even our own local folks here as well. We're not on board with our own hero, and I'm asking, I can't tell anybody to do it. If I was a sergeant major and working in the Marine Corps, I just order you to do it. But, I can't do it. But this is an ask, for every veteran service organization and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We should be standing up for this, especially we're the hometown person. This is our own hometown hero, and he has done what is necessary to receive that award. And that's all I hear coming out of you, sir. Right?
100%, Sergeant Major. And just to talk about what a hard man this warrior is. After he was blown up with Fulak, and we didn't really get into even the details of his action. But he had his abdomen shredded, he had his legs torn apart, and still continued to fight to save his Marines' lives. And then when they were being medevaced, the helicopter was overloaded, and he attempted to jump off the helicopter, sacrifice his own life. And the only reason he wasn't able to get off is that the crew chief physically restrained him and held him to the strut as the helicopter's bouncing along. But when he finally went back to the States, it took him nearly a year to recover, and they were told him he would never walk again. Well, his wife, Dottie, said, well, we're not having that. And so she encouraged this man to walk, and I can't really talk about the details there. That's personal family business. But she got the man out of his bed walking again, and not only did he walk, but he went back to serve in the Marine Corps. First, he was the face of the most successful recruiting campaign the Marine Corps has ever had.
Amen.
Ask a Marine campaign, and many of us, myself included, who saw this Marine standing there in dressed blues were motivated to join the Marine Corps because they've never seen a warrior so squared away. And then he's, you'd say, all right, well, the Marine Corps is going to let him stay. They'll give him a desk job. No, he took command of 2nd Force Reconnaissance. This is no desk job. He's jumping out of planes. He's scuba diving. He's back. Not only is he walking, he decides on 10 November, the Marine Corps' birthday, that he's going to lead his unit on a run from Ken Tavern, Philadelphia, all the way down to Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. So this is what a tough SOB this man is.
That's a good man. That's a good man.
And that exemplifies what we call leadership by example.
Lieutenant Colonel, we do appreciate you taking the time to call in here this morning, and you and Sergeant Major Mayfield, both of you you're a Marine, if there's ever been one, both of you together.
Okay.
So we do appreciate that.
I'm gonna give you a call later on, sir. Okay.
Outstanding. Well, I just want to say I was trained by the Sergeant Major, so I'm honored to be considered a Marine. And for those who want to help, now's the time to reach out to your senators. We have a bill going through to get Capers Medal of Honor. Please reach out to your senators. Fight for this man. He fought for us.
And before you go, I'm going to say this to the listeners as well as yourself. You have Rayford's number, and he's a morning show talk hosting, etc. extraordinaire for our area where Camp Lejeune is located.
I agree.
And I would say feed him as much information as what's going on up there in D.C. as well, because that's our pulse beat, sir. And if you've got some information that can help us down here, this is a retired community. What the heck? This is military all over the place.
Sergeant Major is going to leave me a telephone number because I do have I got one senator up there that I do like, and he likes me, so I'll reach out.
There you go. All right. So we got a little bit more help. Got a little bit more ammo in the kit, right?
Outstanding.
There you go, sir.
Team, that's what it's about.
All right.
We all fight together.
As they say, teamwork makes the dream work.
You be safe up there, sir.
All right, God bless you. I love your show. Keep it up.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Colonel. Thank Bull. Get it.
Sergeant Major. I appreciate you coming in this morning.
You call, we haul, sir.
You got that right. And I even appreciate it. I didn't have a chance to say, hey, the Mrs. Sergeant Major, Mrs. Mayfield over there. She's keeping things right. Keeping you straight.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Do you need a big stick? I got one over there on the wall, a couple of them, just in case you need one. I move from time to time, but I'm sure that words from you are probably louder than the whack from any stick, right, Sergeant Major?
Absolutely.
I figure as much.
Well, I'm gonna let you guys. I know you guys got other stuff to talk about, but I wanted to get in and steal a little bit of time and get this. Try to get this back on the fast track for First of all, priority is the Medal of Honor for the Major.
We're going to be talking about this more. We're going to be talking about 13 December. Because I think you're going to be singing something for me.
Done.
Major Capers has been on the show several times. We
Yeah.
all know him. I go to a lot of the Capers Foundation meetings.
Mm-hmm.
The best of the best.
Yeah.
And whatever we can do to help you with this fight, we're in.
Well,
We love him.
Okay.
one talk. This is a talk show. Talk it up.
You're always squared away in your uniform because I've seen you in your uniform, but there's a man to your extreme right here.
Okay. Hmm?
He's in uniform.
I see it. Looking sharp. Let him go.
Yes,
Okay.
he does.
You got work to do.
Percentage-wise, is he squared away?
Looking sharp to me. I start from the bottom up.
Don't be like
got
my
a high and
daddy.
tight haircut, looking sharp. Hey, it's not a troop I would kick out of rank.
No, he's good. He's good
Matter
to
of
go.
fact, that puts off. What the NCO's involved? He got colonel stuff on this.
Oh,
I'm leaving him alone.
Don't be like my daddy.
Sergeant Major Mayfield, let me introduce you to our police chief here in Jacksonville, Chief Jared Phelps.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Sir? Aye, sir.
Where's
So anyway, he's
He used to be out there on the wall, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, come on now.
no, he wasn't. He wasn't. Anyway, thank you, sir. We
All right,
appreciate
sir.
it as always.
Thank you all for letting me have some time here. Appreciate it.
You keep it
You're always welcome.
between the ditches, sir.
What was that?
Kept it between the ditches,
Oh.
sir.
That's my hearing aids.
I got some hearing aids up there somewhere. My
I'm
wife wants me
sorry.
to have them,
I'm
but sooner or later I'll get one.
That shocked me. What? Nasty. All right.
All right, you take care.
Yes, sir.
All right. Chief Phelps.
How you doing, sir?
You don't have a new title here on your name here.
Twinkle
Chief
toes.
Phelps,
Twinkle toes.
dancer extraordinaire.
I don't know about that, but
had your predecessor here Friday was it? I'd forgotten. Anyway, Mike was in here and he said, "Does he have any idea what he's getting himself into yet?" And I said, "No, he wasn't." But he said, he was a SWAT guy. You were a SWAT guy.
I was
So you
16,
think-
16 years.
You think you're tough, don't you?
No, sir, I don't.
You won't once you get through with this process. Come on up to the mic.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate you coming in, and we do appreciate what you're doing here for the Onslow Onslow Victim Center.
Yes, sir.
I've called it the Women's Center for so long.
Yeah,
It's
that's the
hard to
original
get-
name.
Yeah, hard to get over that. But anyway, a dozen years or so ago, Mike Canaro and state senator and the mayor, who was a former cop too, as you well know, and some idiot who was running his mouth on radio, himself a former cop. They were they subjected themselves to the abuse of a lot of folks. Had not a clue what we were doing because that was the first year.
Right.
Boy, did we look silly. It's come a long way since then, so I'm sure that you're doing well. How are your knees holding up?
They're doing all right. I ran a half marathon on was it Saturday morning on base.
That's
the base
a good start
It
to
was a good
run
start,
out of
yeah,
that.
so I'm a little sore from that, but I'm holding
Well,
up.
good.
My partner's working me pretty hard. Though, so.
They can be vicious, can't
Yes,
they?
she can be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say that they put out a little sneak peek the other day of you dancing
Yeah, I
with
saw
your
that.
partner Maggie,
Uh-huh.
and I have to say you've got some moves.
I don't know about that, but
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 thank
those
you for
moves
that.
come from dodging people all the time.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. People or comments, one of the two.
And you may not know this, Chief, but there is a spy among your dancing opponents.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
yes.
I did not know that.
Not going to give his name, but he
Yeah.
seems to know how well all the competition is doing.
Okay.
Yeah, he does get around a little bit, and he's asked me to set some cameras up in various locations, and I have so far declined.
Okay.
He hasn't offered me enough money yet.
That's where the true thing is,
He
right?
likes to talk a lot of trash.
He is a
Chief.
trash talker like you've never seen before.
See, he's going to call in today.
Is he?
We generally refer to those folks as Bravo Sierra folks, they're
Yes, sir, I do, absolutely.
You got that one down.
Yes, sir.
How's your first year and a half on the job?
It's going well. It's going well. Starting to make some progress here. We
Good.
just went to body worn cameras.
Yes, I
as
saw
a
that. That's
department.
great. Maybe.
It is. It's a great tool for the officers to be able to utilize. The in-car camera system that we have was great.
for its time.
Traffic stops are only a fraction of what a police officer does. So having a body worn cameras to be able to have it on scene like everything that an officer does, should it be needed, not only for the officer, but for anything that happens around, for the public's trust in the officer. It's a great tool to have. And I've gotten a lot of good reviews from not only officers, but also community. They're good comments.
I think it's going to be good for them. In the beginning, the old folks among us said when they first came out with the cameras, said, no. It was kind of like back in the 70s when the Supreme Court said, routine stops. No. You can't just stop a car because. You got to have a because.
Right.
And I'm like, and I'd never forget. I was young and stupid at that time, but I would look at the other side. Some of the older guys that I knew worked with, and they said, "Oh God, this is going to put an end to our, ability to enforce the law." And I said, "Wait a minute. When was the last time you got behind a car, or you drove behind that car for a half mile or more, that car's operator did not violate a law?"
True.
And the answer is none.
There's always an opportunity for if you sit and watch for a while. I mean, not everybody's perfect.
No. I can't drive from here up the driveway without violating at least 3 of the Chapter 20 statutes, and that's on private property.
Okay, let's get back to dancing.
That's as far as I was going to go for this.
No, I have to stop you some point.
Talk about all war stories here.
I got a microphone. I can stop her right now.
Because I could listen to the war stories all day long. But I want to know what made you decide to go ahead and do this. Or were you forced?
No, I was not forced. I was politely asked and challenged as it may be. I'm a firm believer that as a leader, you got to put yourself out there. You got to be willing to expose yourself, be vulnerable to things. I do that. I try to exemplify that in things that I say and how I speak with people and in public. But I just saw this as an opportunity to engage with the community, to get to know it since I'm so new, so people can see me not only as the police chief, but I'm a person too. It was funny. I went to the event that we had on Saturday, the fundraiser for the Child Advocacy Center for One Place, the Diamonds and Denim fundraiser, and people didn't recognize me because I'm not dressed like this. So it's seeing me in a different light. It's seeing that we're not just police officers, we're people, and just kind of being that. Stepping forward and just exemplifying that. I'm a firm believer in that. So.
Well, thank you for that. Any prior dance experience?
Other than my my first wedding, no. First and only wedding, all right. But no, it's that's about the only thing. I've never had anything formal trained or anything like that. So
after a night of practicing, do you go home and have to take a hot soak?
No, not too bad. Maggie works me pretty good. I'm sweating when I come out of there because it's a different type of workout. But it's just I dread going in, but by the time I leave, she makes it fun. So it's like, okay, I had a good time today.
It is a fun event. So you're obviously picking up on that. That's the good thing. But so I've got a couple of questions I have to ask.
Okay.
You want to talk to me about
Be careful.
Yeah, I know. may have to give my chief.
All people, I don't want to do it on this.
Already got the warnings, apparently.
I may have to just give my chief answers. So we'll see.
The dancers, not this.
I'll get back to you on it, right? In October. Yeah, that's a stock answer. But no, you've got some good stuff down. I'm not going to ask you specifics because I don't want you to slip up.
No, it's all right.
Because I'm going to get the blame if you do. Because I live next door to the people.
Yeah, exactly. And you're related to them too.
But you got some good stuff that you're feeling good about it.
I like the. I'm actually more excited about the second dance. I like this. I picked that one.
That's
it's just. I think and what Maggie's put together so far, I really like. So that one, it's. I can tell my energy changes depending on the dance. I mean, the first one's great. She put a great routine together. It's very challenging for me to memorize it, but the second one I just have a little more fun with because I think I'm a little more invested into it because I chose the song. So
Excellent.
Yeah. Costumes.
We're getting there. We're getting there. I have gone to the store and purchased my item for our first piece of our first costume. So we're on our way with that. But we got some good ideas.
This is interesting. At any point, is the worm involved?
The worm? I do not do the worm. No, I do not do the worm. I'm sorry.
Remember last year when Emily did that?
I remember it well.
And it was more, too, from the sheriff's office.
Major Scott? Yeah.
He was...
He gives me a hard time every time I see him.
As tall as he is, and then being able to do what he was, I was like impressed.
Yeah.
Beyond belief.
Yes.
By the time all that stuff from up here in the brain gets down there, it's a trip and some delay process.
Mine's a slow trip.
Mine is too.
So the spy is going to want to know, do you know where you are in the order of...
as far as what place I'm dancing?
What place you're dancing?
I do, yes. We selected those a few weeks ago. I don't know if I'm allowed to give that away, though. So I do know where I'm dancing, and I'm not first, and I'm not last. I'll just say it like that. So.
It's funny. Everybody has said that.
Yeah. I'm not first.
Someone's
got to be
somebody's
first.
teaching these guys right over there. I mean, I knew an agency up there.
We thought Candy was tight, but let me tell you, little Miss Allie.
Come on, you know, I got 30 years of experience of talking like this.
Well, this is great. Would you do it again?
Well, ask me a question after October.
Well, if you do it right and you do well,
Mm-hmm.
you might be the professional the next go round.
So
That's right. You could dance next year.
So no good deed goes unpunished. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
So do you and your partner Maggie have any special fundraising events coming up?
Nothing on the books. No, I've been able to leverage some opportunities, joint opportunities with some things for fundraising. So I didn't put anything together. It's a little harder for me. Not just. Just my position.
You got a position that you have to.
And I have to well, I know I'm a fundraising for a private organization, and I can do that as an individual.
Right.
There's also an optic that I have to be very, very careful about. And I'm hyper focused on that aspect. So it's, so I try to balance that. So, it's a little different, I think, as well, being new to the area. So just people aren't going to know. And I can't put out the police chief's having this event. So
well, there is a link that people can donate directly to your team through the Dancing Stars of Onslow County.
Yeah.
And I've got all that information on our pages here. So
it is not true that will get you a get out of jail card free. That doesn't happen.
I'll consider it, though. Consider
it. And you don't look at the weekend reports before you go out and decide how you're going to solicit funds.
No, I do not. No, I do not.
So, whoa. But, no, it's got to be tough. So, but you guys, you need to take that into consideration too. Just think about this gentleman here he puts a lot of work. All of the cops do. All of the law enforcement guys. Way back in the day, they took up collections.
Yes.
They took out collections out of their measly $6,000 a year when they had a victim come in.
Right.
Find a place for it to stay. Of course, everybody had a little bit of influence with some of the accommodations around, and they gave good rates for that. But that was good. But God, how far it's come, and there's no reason for lawmen to have to go out and do that, but they did.
Yeah.
So now they're doing something else. You've got this chief, you had the fire chief, you had the chief, deputy chief, the mayor.
Mayor was deputy chief when he retired.
So,
yes,
I mean, you got all of these folks out there who've done this, put forward, they continue giving. So you need to take that into consideration.
I appreciate that.
How's that?
That's good. I like that.
910-333-0139.
Here's your chance.
Here's your chance.
Try to sneak in one of those questions.
Yeah. Keep it to Dancing Stars. We're not going to talk about the other stuff. We can talk about that another day.
Yeah.
But anyway, if you got a question, an observation, or whatever, bring it on. Let's talk about it.
Things like shoe size and how tall are you and things.
11 and a half.
That's important when it comes to dancing.
You're pretty close. 12. Okay. Depending on the my running shoes are 13s. So.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
He's growing into them. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, he figures he could get there even just one shoe size ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Just give it a little edge.
Yeah.
Well, size 13, that gives you a head start.
Well, the reason I asked it, his dancing partner, Maggie, you got to make sure that she don't step on his feet.
Yeah, I do have 2 left feet, so
That's trouble calling.
Which one?
This is the trash talker calling.
Hello, TT. What's up?
We love it though.
I just had to run up the steps. I'm kind of out of breath. But, yeah,
It's only one step.
it's 50 steps. Okay. Well, the chief's in there right now, right?
Yes.
He's here. He's
Yes,
listening.
yes.
He's
He's already made a note of
I
the
really
tag
got
number.
just a few words for this fella.
competitor.
I just hope you have a good time and do great that night. And if you see me pulled off side of the road, just help me out.
Well, don't stop. Don't stop.
This is the calmest you have been to any other competitor.
I know. I don't get that.
Nothing to fear but fear itself, Marty.
Yeah, we're all going to have a great time. I don't know if people have heard over the last few weeks the junk I've been talking. I don't mean nothing bad. It's just all jokes and just having a good time. Like I said last time, I'm the biggest cheerleader back there behind the scenes. I want everybody to do the best that they possibly can. Just don't do better than me.
It sounds to me like your daughter has gotten hold of you.
Nobody's got a hold of me. This is all on my own.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
Well, get that knife out of my back.
Only thing Marty's tired of is he had to come over and help me lift up a 100-quart pot full of water and boiled peanuts last night.
Yeah.
Took 2 of us to move it though.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
No,
That's his wife's fault.
we love it when Marty calls with all his throwing down the gauntlet stuff.
Yeah, he usually talks a lot of trash, and
This is mild.
So I'm just keep waiting for the other shoe to drop. What you got going?
Well, I mean, I just found out over the weekend that the other professionals, not towards me, but some of the other professionals, been talking junk to each other. I said, wait a minute, where you leaving me out? I mean, of course, there's about a 40-year difference between me and the. It's usually the professionals are Marty and the kids.
Yeah, Marty and his kids. Yeah, they're what 13, 14. We've had some 14-year-old pros in there dancing with the coach. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Dancing with a coach was I think his granddaughter, Coach Bale.
Jack.
Yeah, years ago, some years back. So that was fun. But anyway. Marty,
I know he's going to do great. I seen the clip the other day. I said, okay, got some news there.
So
I can't wait for the whole dance.
So have you
just
been
hoping for no screw ups? That's all.
Yeah, yes, sir. Have you been out there? Have you been dogging him? You've been following him anywhere? Are you the great stalker for the chief too?
I cannot tell everything I do.
Why? Is it illegal? What you got to hide?
No, there's no rules in this.
Okay.
Yeah, there are. They're called Allison's rules. And that comes under Chapter 96.
Hey, he's not in town right now, so.
We'll get his plate number for you, Chief.
That's all right. I got my own way.
He's already got it.
Ooh, this is kind of being thrown both ways here today.
If it's the same one he was running when he was dating my daughter, I've got it.
Yeah.
All right, Marty, you take care. Be safe out there on the road today. Really be safe on the road today.
You gotta take baby steps from here on out. That's what I do. Weeks it gets really, really close.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even step off the porch. I'll go around, do baby steps.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, something's too heavy. Somebody wants me to help them, like that last week before.
No.
I can't help you. I can't help you. I said, this is a dance week.
No chances,
I can't do nothing for you.
No chances.
No chance.
Old as I am, I mean, you got to do things like that.
I think one of the best things you could do you get to wear a body camera too when you're out?
We did not get one for me. No,
Okay.
we stopped at sergeants just because of funding.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I was just thinking maybe if you would just pull over a car to get
Mhm.
and sort of dance your way up to the car, just for training purposes.
Right.
That would go over really well.
Yeah, I'm
wouldn't
sure.
Okay, that brings a question of mine.
it? Yeah.
Do you go grocery shopping?
I do.
When you're in the grocery store and you're going down the aisles pushing the cart and the music's playing, do you find yourself
Dancing
Kinda-
with a cart.
dancing a little bit down
Maybe
the
in my
aisle?
mind, but not in reality.
Oh gosh.
Saw a video of Elvis Presley way back when doing
Mm-hmm.
Jailhouse Rock,
Mm,
and he was dancing with a broom or something like
Mhm.
that in the jail, in the
Nice.
prison.
Okay.
So
There
it
you
was,
go.
It was a good, cute piece of video.
Have you ever danced with a broom?
Can't say that I've done that.
Okay.
Yes, I have.
I bet you have. I'm
But
sure
you,
you
I
have.
know you have, Marty.
Mm.
Yeah.
With Lisa Brown. Yes, I did.
She was a broom.
Nope.
Did you call our clerk of court,
I
former
had
clerk of
that.
court, a broom? Oh,
Nope.
I'll
Just
share
called out to
this.
her. I had to dance with a broom for a minute.
okay.
I'll share this.
Yes.
I learned to shag working in radio with a doorknob. That's where I learned to shag.
I can't,
Well, I can't tell you then what somebody described shagging as. So not now. I can't do it now. No, can't do it.
It's a family-oriented show.
Yes, it is. Bye.
Bye, Marty.
Bye. See ya.
Marty.
So, Chief, I know that you do a lot of things for nonprofits. Have you ever done anything like this before?
No, this is definitely outside of my comfort zone. It's way outside of my comfort
Kind of
zone.
like center stage at this event. Huh?
Absolutely,
Oh, my.
absolutely.
My.
Usually, it's most of the money that I fundraise. It is in a physical nature. I ride bicycles to raise money
Right.
for fallen families of fallen officers. Just physical challenges I take on just to is a double benefit. Just to push myself, but the emotional, physical, and mental aspect of doing something like this is definitely stepping outside my comfort, and it's challenging myself in a different way.
Well, we have to say thank you.
I
Yes,
appreciate that.
thank you very
What do
much.
your kids say about it? Are they helping you?
They can't wait to see it.
I bet they are all giggles right now.
Oh yeah,
I would
like,
imagine.
Dad's doing what? Get out of here!
I would imagine that one daughter that I saw pin the shield on you.
Yes.
That, when you got her, you shook her up. 'Cause
Oh, yeah.
You acted like she stabbed you.
Yeah.
I would imagine she's going to wait to get back at you.
Oh, she will
I
absolutely.
figured as much.
She'll get her time. So will my son. So they just yeah.
Well, that's
Good
good.
time. They were just here last weekend, so it was good to see them. And
And they're going to be here for the event, right?
yeah, they're coming down.
Good.
At least right now, they've told me. So hopefully nothing happens between now and then. My daughter's a first year 7th grade English teacher this year. So
Wonderful.
so I know her life is extremely busy right now.
Oh, my.
So hopefully nothing gets in the
7th
way.
grade?
7th grade English. Yes.
Oh,
God
Yeah.
bless you.
She's,
worst 2 years of their lives.
She's
7th and
actually
8th
enjoying
grades.
it. Her class, what she was describing, is she's got some great kids. Obviously, where she's teaching, it's very diverse in a lot of different ways. But she's got some kids that really tug at your heartstrings.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But she's trying to be as creative. She was telling me how she's doing this Dungeons and Dragons themed
Really?
English lesson that lasts all year round. So it's like a whole campaign that she's
She
designed
probably
to
keeps
teach.
her attention.
Yeah, exactly.
That's rule one.
Yeah, absolutely. So she's
That's
creative with things. So it seems to be enjoying it so far. Yeah.
I just going through school. I remember back those poor teachers, not because of me, but
Mhm.
definitely not because of me.
Of course
Right.
But they were just to come up with the stuff to keep people like me interested.
Yeah.
I-
Every kid learns something. Learns in a different manner, and
Yeah.
it's really trying to, as much as you can, to isolate how you do things, but also take it into a broader spectrum. It's like you gotta teach to the whole. You can't teach just to one kid, but you gotta find those ways to connect.
Go ask a real quick question. Your fondest memory of the best teacher you ever had, real quick, like.
Oh, my best teacher I've ever had was my high school AP government teacher, Mr. Bill Bixby. I was at his retirement not too long ago.
Wow.
He and I lost touch, but he ended up being deputy superintendent for the Prince William County school system. Went from AP government teacher. We had a school violence incident in 2006 where a middle schooler brought a gun to school, tried to actually shoot the principal.
Really?
Thankfully, the gun didn't go off. But he was the principal of that school. I got to see him, reconnected after so many years there real quick. And then a few more years when I was over our school resource officers up there, and I got to reconnect with him. But he was by far the biggest influence I've ever had. He challenged everybody. You think of Robin Williams, it was, I can't remember thinking of
the
Dr. Mr.
No, he plays the teacher.
Right, I was trying to think of that.
I can't think of the name right now. It just escaped me. But he was kind of that energy in the room. He'd jump on chairs. He was just one of those. He always challenged you. He was the track coach at the time. I didn't run, but he was just so active. But then to see him become deputy superintendent of the entire school system, and then when I was at his retirement, he never lost that energy. Every principal that he worked with, they just loved his energy. And I got actually an opportunity to thank him in front of everybody just for the impact that he had on my life. He was a very he was just a wonderful man. He is a wonderful man. So
that's good. That's really good.
That is
I
wonderful.
had two teachers. One was an electronics teacher. He was a freshman in high school. The other one, also a freshman, was an algebra teacher. Believe it or not, she hates algebra because she had to use it.
yeah.
What was the purpose? Geometry, algebra, trigonometry, whatever that is. I've never used it. And I know the teachers listening, Homer Springs. But
anyway, we do appreciate you coming in this morning.
Absolutely.
And especially what you're doing and the job that you're doing. It's interesting. New folks come in, they're always compared to the folks that have gone out.
Absolutely.
Especially if you've had a good guy.
Yep.
And then people say, he's not like the other guy. It's just, I haven't heard that. I haven't heard
take that as a positive.
That's a positive. And, he's done a great job. He's done this. And, I kind of rely on, I'm not real close to any police officers anymore. Sometimes, thank goodness.
Right.
But I'm not kidding. But I haven't heard any of the folks that I do talk with.
Yeah,
I mean, no scuttlebutt, no crap about you.
It's not
What's wrong
about
with you?
yeah. It's not. It's not about comparing myself or doing how Mike and I have different styles.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're two different types of leaders. I try to connect with the officers. Spend a time walking through and just talking with them, seeing how things are going. I'm definitely more. I just try to engage and make sure that they know that I'm there for them. So to be honest with you, Mike did some great things. I wasn't here for that, didn't see it, so I have no basis of comparison in it. My job is just to get to know them, protect them, do everything I can to make sure that they have the tools to do this job, and argue for everything I can to improve the conditions for them, make the job as easy as I can for them. Now, there's a lot of, as you know, there's a lot of things that control that, but where I can have that effect, I will, and just keep pushing forward so that we're the best that we can be.
If you don't have the tools, you can't get the job.
Absolutely.
That's rule one. I don't care what business or profession that you've got.
Absolutely. You got to have it.
My dad was a contractor. He made that perfectly clear to me many times.
Exactly.
Yeah,
if you're a carpenter, you can't show to work without a hammer. You got to have it.
if you do, you get run off.
Rayford, you were talking that you've not heard anything negative or whatsoever about the chief.
Uh-oh. I hear something negative coming.
After October 25th, we'll see. We'll see what's going to come out.
That's what we more laughter than anything else.
Yes.
Laughter's
It
great.
was such a
one of
great
the best
time.
medicines there is. But I think he will come out as being, okay, this is a guy that I really could get to know, and he's fine. He's cool.
Yeah.
So I think that's what you will get.
I think people see police officers
in a
as
different
being
way.
They do, and at arm's length. And there's, for whatever reason, right, wrong, but that's just the way things are. And but realize that our officers, their fathers, their mothers, their brothers or sisters. They have families that are part of this community. And just because we wear a uniform and a badge, we're no different than anybody else. We're just doing what we can to make our community better. That's all we're doing.
I love that.
As a SWAT guy, what sort of position? I know they go through a bunch of different locations and different scenarios, but what was your favorite duty that you had to deal with? Not a particular job, but what was your position?
So I ran point for about 6 years, being the first one through the door. Back when I was on the team,
they didn't like you at all, did they?
Yeah, usually it's your most experience. But I kind of got thrown into that just because of attrition. But it is. I'm not a huge guy, but I'm a pretty big guy. And get behind. We had to do things with shields and everything else. We didn't have the drones. We didn't have cameras back then, so everything was on my hands and knees behind a shield, working a mirror. But to me, that was probably the best part about being on the team.
Sliding those little mirrors under the door.
Yeah, absolutely. Checking every little nook and cranny that you could, because everything, as we went into that room, it was based on my assessment. And if I said the room was clear or that we were good to go in and something happened, that's all on me. It's all on me. And I thrived in that. I had a number two who covered me. I knew anything were going to happen, he'd take care of it. I had a couple team leaders who they were just fantastic individuals. Put a lot of trust in me and guided me up. So but that was by far, I think, the best part of the team, being point.
And for you guys who just watch the TV and all you see is the SWAT guys up there taking 100-yard shots and doing this and doing that, they almost never have to shoot. Special weapons and tactics, y'all. Yeah. Tactics count.
If you have to shoot, then things have gone real bad. I mean, the whole idea is to resolve it in a peaceful manner.
Everybody goes home.
In a safe manner. Absolutely. Everybody goes home. It includes the person that we're having to deal with. They get to go home, or they get to get out of it safely. They may not get to go home, but they eventually they will.
Might have a new address for a while.
Exactly. But
they're still alive.
Exactly. And that's the whole thing is we want everybody to be safe and do it as safe as possible.
Too much paperwork the other way, too.
There's a lot of paperwork. Absolutely. I'll agree with you there.
Chief, thank you. We do appreciate you coming in.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
And we're human around here.
Break a leg.
Yeah. Well, not literally, right?
No.
But that is answer talk.
There would be a way to get out of this, right?
In your other profession, your real profession, if you break a leg, break it the other guy's leg. Okay. Don't break your own.
That's a dancer saying you don't say good luck or you say break
a leg.
Gotcha. I hear you.
We'll be there.
You'd be safe.
Cheering you on.
Are you going to be in the front row? You have special seats?
Well, it depends.
I mean, you have pretty much you got good access to somebody who runs the event, so you should hopefully have seats.
We'll have seats, but I don't stay seated a lot. I carry a camera too.
Oh, okay. So you pull double duty.
Well, I carry a camera for my own personal.
Okay.
Things that can haunt you later.
Oh, I see. All right. So be careful when I'm not on the stage.
It's only on stage. I don't shoot off stage.
Don't worry, Chief. We have ways of getting back at him.
I'm sure.
We captured a moment at the ball game Friday where he.
What did she say?
He was trying to con the ref out of his yellow flags. We have it on film.
I got his yellow flag.
We have it on film.
I gave it back. So it's
not
okay, intentional larceny, right?
Yeah. Well, you gave it back. There's no intent to deprive permanently.
He voluntarily handed it to me, and I took it.
And while we're talking about it, kudos to your officers that are out there at the high school and out there just keeping a watch over us all at Jacksonville. I appreciate them.
Yeah, we got some fantastic SROs.
And I'll tell you what, and for a location as bad as Jacksonville High School is, now, I'm talking about traffic-wise.
Right.
Okay. They manage to get people in and out real fast.
Oh, yes.
They clears that parking lot in a hurry. That's good.
Yeah, the faster you get people out of there, the less problems we have. But we also have less problems. So they got some fantastic school resource officers.
Yeah, and you guys have been out there, and I watch them. I always say, hey, I used to wear that uniform.
And another quick thing that I would like to compliment you on is your new PR person, your new social media person.
Oh, it's the same person. We just keep allowing her to do a lot more.
Yes,
giving her a lot more to do.
Well, thank you for that.
You're talking about Sarah.
Sarah, yes.
I've
Sarah's
enjoyed
good.
seeing how you've come out more on social media.
Yeah.
The department and everything that y'all do, and it's been good. I thought maybe there's a contest brewing between the sheriff's office and JPD.
The sheriff has a new individual running his Trevor. Yeah, he's done a fantastic job.
He's got a leg up.
Yeah.
And I noticed how much JPD has stepped up on it. And
I will say I'm a
this.
little more conservative, I think, when it comes to certain things.
Yes.
Well, he's a journalist.
Is he? I don't
Yeah.
know his
Oh
background.
yeah, he was
so.
he was
the editor of the local
Okay.
paper.
He was the editor of the local paper.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Now you understand.
Now I understand. Absolutely.
We like Trevor.
But I think I've had a few classes with some journalists, and having their mindset in the police realm does wonders for our transparency and our interaction with the public, because they get how do we reach and connect our public and tell that story. And tell it in a way that is very effective for the police departments, because a lot of times we just give the facts.
It was kind of wild when I moved to Wilmington, and after a while, I was at I was a news director there to a TV station,
Right.
And when I was there, I had a gentleman from Salemburg. He came down and he said, "Listen, I'd like to bring some of my guys over here." And we're talking about media and being the police band. I'd like to bring them in here, and maybe you would talk to them. I said, absolutely. So they did. And then I got to do it annually there for a while. So that was fun.
Yeah.
It was, I think they learned a lot.
We fear what we don't know.
That's the problem.
And the more experience that we have in dealing with issues like media or anything else, the more experience we can get, more comfortable we are in that space.
Back in the day, when people said, "Why did you go from this to that and then back again?" Because I went both ways several times. And I said, well, the biggest difference is I didn't have a Miranda card. They didn't have any rights.
Yeah. Not then. Now we
no,
do.
they did not. No, not us. I'm talking about the people that you go after. You got it.
Right.
Do your thing.
Right.
The people that I would go after, I didn't have to tell them that
you
they had the right to remain silent.
That's
They don't have that
Yeah.
right. You can exercise it if you want to, but that's up to you.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I don't. I'm not liable. That's your problem. Whatever you say.
Yep.
You answer my questions, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Before you go, Chief, I just want to say, as a board member of Crime Stoppers, thank you for your support with Crime Stoppers.
Of course.
Appreciate
It's a
it.
great organization.
That's one of our little things that we all do. We support him and his efforts as much as possible.
Yes,
here.
we do.
That's a great organization. What they've done to help law enforcement, not only JPD, Onslow County Sheriffs, but also the base. That cooperation that we have is a great resource for all of us. So thank you for the 25 plus years that you've been around to do that. So
And there were 23 of them. So
yeah.
Besides loving to dance, do you enjoy living here?
I do. I'm having a good time. There's not as much stuff to do that I'm used to, but I'm still finding things to do. Just traveling around. So it's I'm getting used to it.
Very good.
Yeah. So it's just I definitely try to find like races and stuff like that, because I do enjoy the physical aspect of things. So the race series that we have here, I love. I think the sports commission's doing a great job with a lot of different things there. A lot of different opportunities to get engaged as a community, fitness community. So it's a priority for me, the physical fitness part. So.
Sure. And National Night Out coming up. Going to be
I can't wait. Let me tell you, this is something I'm very excited about.
Yep.
This is when last year when we had to move National Night Out because of the hurricane. It was kind of a blessing because Lieutenant Silence and the team came to me and said, "Hey, we got an idea that we want to try," and they laid it out, starting with doing the run with the law on the original National Night Out night, doing that as a night run, and then ending it with our celebration on October 11th for a National Night Out. And we're doing a lot of different programs in between for the community, but just the way they laid it out, I was like, let's give it a shot, see what happens. Run with the Law was the biggest event that we've had yet.
Really?
It was well over 500, I think it was closer to 580 runners is what it was that showed up on a Tuesday night to run downtown Jacksonville. Highly successful. We ran out of medals We weren't expecting
Really?
so many people to show up, so we had to do a second run of medals and shirts to those that didn't get them. So in just the way they have things set up for National Night Out now on October 11th at the Commons, it's looking to be a great event. So I'm hoping in a cooler weather too. So it'll be nice.
Our ham radio club will be out there in force, and
absolutely.
I will likely man the one downtown at the JPD.
Okay. So you'll probably be in the command center then?
I will be there.
Yeah. Okay.
At our little hole in the wall back there,
I'll
which
be
is
there,
a
but
great
I'm-
location.
Yeah.
But I'm working for a candidate that night at his booth.
So you got suckered in, huh?
I know. I've been working in politics.
I see.
I've been working
And he
against them for a long time. No, I'm just kidding, guys. Just kidding.
Well, actually, I was kind of trying to get away from it a little bit, and Rayford volunteered me for a lot of people. But I like doing it for good people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. You see
Nothing wrong-
somebody.
there's nothing wrong with that.
No,
Yeah,
nothing at
No,
all.
when you have somebody that you know can do the great job and you believe in them, you
Right.
want to support them. You want to see
Yeah.
them succeed as well. So
I
because they can do
have,
some great stuff for our
I
community.
have in my 100 years on Earth supported almost no one.
Mhm.
I mean, I vote for them.
Right.
I might like them,
Mhm.
but I have almost never gone out and talked good things about them in
Right.
advance,
Mhm.
just because of what I was doing for a living most
Right.
of the time. But even today, it's just one of those things. But there are one or two
Mhm.
these days now that I can go say good things about
Mhm.
instead of saying bad things about all the others.
Well, I think
Well-
that we're going to have a good local election.
It's going to be a great election, so we'll
The
see.
municipal's going to be good.
Yeah,
I think JPD's going to be better off.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I think we're definitely heading in the right direction on some things.
Yep, you are.
I just want to get our staffing up. That's the biggest challenge.
Sure.
I mean, being a police officer these days, and just any public service, it's hard to get people to come into this field now.
Well, with all of the other departments getting fed up, I mean, the officers getting fed up with, you don't fund this police department, don't do this, they're anti-police here. And looks like you got some good people you could pick
We got
from.
some great people.
So that's-
it's just a challenge as far as because we're competing with all these other departments. Some departments definitely pay higher than us, and it's a challenge to make sure that we keep our quality high, but attracting those people that we know will be successful here. It's just constant work.
I would think that some of those guys that might be fed up in other places that may have 8-10 years under the belt, they're not looking for street action all the time. That this would be the absolute. It's big enough. Department's big enough.
Yeah, it's big.
The town is big enough. And it's such a variety of people,
Right.
but they're all, for the most part, they're all good people compared to a lot of places these folks could be working.
Very true. Very
I
true.
mean, and
you could be working in much worse
You
places.
don't have to go very far from Jacksonville to find a few of those little towns out there.
Unfortunately, some of those little towns have taken our officers because of pay. And
Is that right?
that's one of the main things that I deal with is trying to retain our officers here. Because once I get them in the door, I want to keep them. I want to keep them for a career. But when people start flashing money in these jurisdictions, they have that ability for whatever reason. It makes it challenging. Because grass isn't always greener.
I will give to the guys that control your budget. I'll give them the same advice that I gave to the guys that used to control my budget in the media. It's cheaper to keep them than it is to train new ones.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Trying to teach a new guy where Court Street is or where that NC-24 has got a whole bunch of different names on it and it don't show up on your GPS.
Right.
So you really, it's cheaper to keep them than it is to train new ones.
It is, absolutely.
The first year or two is tough.
It is. It's very tough. I mean, you figure the first roughly 9 months of your career, you're in training.
Yeah.
You're either going to BLET, and then I added what I call gap training. So once they get out of BLET, then they're training.
JPD training.
Exactly. Specifically to JPD, doing scenario-based training as well. And before they even get into field training with their officer or their field training officer. So, and that's another 3 weeks. So it's the first 9 months completely training. So you really aren't seeing a value in your investment until year 2 with an officer that you bring in. So it's definitely cheaper to keep them.
I was back in the day, 60 hours was it.
Yeah.
It was done after I had a badge and was arresting people.
Right. Yeah, it's come a long way.
That's a long way, baby. A long way, baby. I knew nothing.
Yeah.
So, Chief, you take care, sir,
Thank you.
and shake a leg. Don't break it.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that. Thank
All right.
you. It's good to see you. Thank
Always,
you.
sir.
Yep.
Be safe.
Thank you.
See,
Thank you.
Come here.
Appreciate it.
Always be safe.
Oh, always.
Yes, it was a pleasure.
Yes.
Are those yours?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Those are all mine.
I don't need any more.
I mean, I can leave my work phone if you'd like.
No. I'll turn it off.
It's great seeing you. Thank you.
Pleasure, sir. Thank you.
Y'all have a great day.
Oh,
Wow.
I like him, and he's going to be great on the dance floor.
I can't
have
wait. It's
no
gonna be
doubt
fun.
about it. He's going to be really cool out there.
Oh yes, definitely.
Okay. And
I tell you, we've had some great guests this morning with.
I love going to high school football games, y'all.
Oh yeah.
In case you didn't figure, I like popcorn too.
Yes.
And I'm pleased to say that Jacksonville High, they had plenty of popcorn this past weekend, Friday night.
Yes.
But I took some just in case. I could not go another week because I would have been really ill with the ball game. I probably would have left in the first quarter. But I had some. But they had it. And they had soft drinks, and they were very friendly. Everybody there. So whatever happened a few weeks ago didn't happen again this weekend. In my case, as a Jacksonville High School graduate, that's my team. Sorry, I'm not apologizing for it. I'm apologizing for having to say something. If there's nothing personal, I like White Oak too. My granddaughter went there. I like pretty much all the schools here in Onslow County, because if it's any school outside Onslow County, I'm in favor of whatever school in Onslow County is up. If they're playing each other, well, I can flip a coin. I could sit on either side if I was not going to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Seriously, that's just the way it would be. I just like local high school football.
Yes.
Football. Local high school football is just like, it's a Southern tradition as far as I'm concerned, and I'll be from the South. To have jerks in North Carolina trying to steal my fun is really getting on my last nerve. Though.
What?
Gunfire at one
Oh,
high
yeah.
school Friday night. 2 teens injured in Edgecombe County at that game. Both are going to be fine. 116, 117. One fan said he heard the first pop of gunfire, thought to himself, what should we do? Run, drop to the ground? Well, those are great questions. The fact that we really need to think about that before we go to our hometown high school games is enough to really make some of us ticked off with the world.
Mm-hmm.
But I go anyway.
Yeah.
I go to the games to cheer on my team, exchange conversations with perfect strangers. I don't have any strangers at a ball game.
Mm-mm.
And then there are idiots that we have to concern ourselves with, causing me some pause. Should I stay home? Should I live in fear? That is not going to happen. I'll be aware, but I'm not going to live in fear. But the very thought that we must plan ahead and do it better than the way we make contingency plans in case a hurricane comes our way. Do y'all think about it in advance when you go to a big event that there's a big public group of people out there? Do you think about it? Do you concern yourself with it? You probably don't. I just become very aware of my surroundings, but that's just kind of goes back with history. Looking at YouTube idiots, those folks who have boats and don't plan for bad stuff, they're all over the place too.
Oh yeah.
There are idiots everywhere that get into trouble, that cause trouble. 10 to 1 that idiots who buy guns for protection, those who have never owned, perhaps never even shot a gun, will not know where their bullets are in case the glass breaks in the middle of the night. I actually have known folks. One of them I knew very well, a very good friend, he and his wife, who kept his protection gun in the safe with his hunting rifles and his shotguns, but he could not remember where he had the ammo for that pistol.
Oh my gosh.
Came one night and he stumbled around in the dark, naked, looking for the bullets when there was an issue outside his home. And he lived in kind of like in a wooded area. Those kinds of things you need to, if you're going to have something, tools, as we were discussing, know how to use them. Don't go buy a gun and just stick it in the drawer somewhere and think you're going to be able to do something with it when the time comes, if you need to. 99.99999% of us will never have to use that thing. Parents, I got something for you. Get control of your kids now. They have virtually no rights when they're young. Really, they have no rights other than those that you give them. They do not have the right to create concerns for good people like us. If you can't control your children, then give them up. Give them to someone who can. Better than having to go to prison and visit them. Or worse, pray over their souls. For our judges and prison folks out there, including the parole boards, quit kowtowing to kitty scum. If they tread on my rights, on the rights of Americans, on your rights, and that includes the mere fact that they create fear among good people when we go to ball games, lock them up when they do something bad, and let them earn a GED. Just keep them there. Don't turn them loose. There's not one excuse in the world for such a small minority of juvenile delinquents being allowed to create problems for the rest of us. I refuse to live in fear. I prefer that they live in fear. Parents, do your job. When you fail, judges, do your job. And when they get up there to the big house, prison guards, and especially parole boards, do your jobs. And that doesn't mean cutting them loose. That means finding a way to keep them in prison. I like the ball games. I had a problem Friday night at the ball game.
The clock?
Nope.
They announced an announcer.
Nope. Lee was the problem.
Lee. Lee. What, Lee?
What did you do wrong, Lee?
What did you do?
I didn't do a thing wrong.
Did you get in his popcorn bag?
It was not me. I did not. You dropped your cell phone, not me.
She threw my cell phone from the top of the bleachers down below to the ground.
It hit
That's
my
a long
foot. Rayford got up, knocked it off the bleacher. It hit my foot, and
it wasn't on the bleachers. It was on my hip, and she bumped me in and knocked it loose. And then she kicked it with her foot. She just said it. She was the last human to touch my phone.
let me just say, I've never seen Rayford move so fast.
I was just going to say, after further review,
he was down that set of steps underneath those bleachers, grabbing that phone and back up.
and then there wasn't no youngster around that you could go, hey.
Would you have trusted one?
Mm.
They would have gone in the wrong direction, first of all. By the time I explained it to somebody, it would have been 3 days later, the battery would have been dead. Okay? No, I did. I zipped down the stairs, zipped around the bleachers, found our location, walked along, and bar she blows.
To make a pit stop at the refreshment stand on the way back.
No,
Robbie and I had our eyes on it, and if somebody else had gone up towards it, I would have slid between those. I would have slid between those seats. I would have jumped down there on them. I would have landed right on their back.
If I'd known that, I'd have paid some kid to go grab my phone.
I would have been right.
No, and I will give it OtterBox devices. Now, I was up high.
Yeah.
And remember the phones when you would lay one down hard on the table here, just on the whole glass crack and everything?
Yeah.
Let's not
remember those days?
Every time you talk about something like this, something happens.
This thing was up and kicking when I got down there. First thing I did, turn it over and scrolled in. Oh, it's still working. Like, not a problem.
Yeah.
And back up the stairs I went.
I will say it was a good ball game Friday. I think that if
we beat them,
Jacksonville could work on their passing and catching, I think that no one would be able to beat them.
Yeah.
From
That's the only issue there. But they just make sure you don't telegraph your moves every week so that the other team that's going to play the week next
I'm
can
gonna tell you what.
look at game films everywhere.
Some good runners, and even the kicker has improved quite a bit since the first game. So Jacksonville's doing well, and there was a lot of surprises this week, and the area high school football games that I could.
Well, I mean, we had four of the local teams, one including White Oak in overtime.
Mhm.
Yes, that was it. We had Dixon beat Southwest.
Dixon, yes.
Northside took on New Hanover and whipped them.
Oh, New Hanover used to be one of those like a New Bern
Used to
or a
be.
Wally Emerald
Yes.
or whatever.
How
They were
about
a powerhouse.
Swansboro? Swansboro beat East Carteret.
Yep.
That was like if we could have gone back in time 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and read that headline 4 years in advance, we would have said somebody had a misprint.
Yep.
Right.
They lied because Swansboro beat East Carteret,
Yeah.
Yes, and
That-
White Oak beat Kinston.
Mhm.
which
And trailed
never
most of
would
that
have
game.
happened either.
No.
Way back
And
then.
guess who lost Friday night? New Bern. New Bern lost to Cleveland. It was 46-6. And I'm like,
George Cleveland?
New Bern, because they're coming up in 2 weeks. I
Yeah, I
think
know.
this coming week we play East Duplin.
Yeah.
Let's
Well,
see
the
what
problem with New Bern in 2 weeks coming up, they've gone down with a loss now that they probably should not have lost. So now they're going to be really coming for blood and say we cannot let Jacksonville beat us down. Oh God, that would be disgraceful. So watch out.
I will say
Jacksonville.
this: if the Cardinals played like they did, and they played to the level of their competition, and that leads to problems in the future.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, the next two coming up,
East Duplin, and you got New Bern.
And then New Bern.
They
So
call
New
them the
Bern-
Bears for a reason. The Bears and the Birds,
Yeah.
It's not like the bees and the
Sitting
birds.
out
It's the
this
bears
way.
and the birds are a problem.
Oh, and let me see.
And they got bears in the backyards in New Bern. I've got
Richlands
video.
lost Friday night
well,
too.
they played South Brunswick, which is a good school,
Yeah.
good team. They're ranked. That was kind of expected.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I know a lot of the guys that did the Man Cave Media, and they were doing their sports predictions. They had predicted Richlands winning that one,
Nah.
most of them, and I was kind of hoping they would too because they did good. But
Lejeune, however you want to pronounce it.
Union 34 over Lejeune.
We talked about that. We talk about everything, but that the young men that go out there and play, they're playing both sides of the ball the whole game.
Mhm.
Not many reserves, and my hat's off to them. Those kids never
I
give up.
agree 100%. And I think third quarter, the ref just said, Jacksonville, just keep the clock rolling.
Oh yeah,
What they
And
did.
then they were putting in, their other players,
which is actually the way it should be done.
exactly.
For a couple of reasons. One, you
Yeah.
give other people an opportunity, and there's been more than one of those reserve quarterbacks to come out from a game like this, and they're a shining star all of a sudden, and I was like, whoa, we need to play him more often.
we had a player last year, Damon June.
Yeah.
He was the top offensive player for the Tar Heels this weekend. He ran for 148 yards.
2 weeks in a row.
That was 2 plays for him?
Pretty much. Well, he had a 50-yard run. He had a 45-yard run.
Well,
he
there's
had a
90
pass
yards.
reception. And they said he is going to be something special if he stays with them.
My Lord of mercy.
Number 35.
Yeah. So
Watch him.
He's a man. We've known that for the last
June.
2 years beforehand.
Yes.
So, anyway. All right, we'll be back tomorrow. Do you have anybody? You better have somebody, because I don't have nothing, and I'm not going to write anything else because I'm tired.
Well, don't do it. Chris and I will do it.
You carry the weight till tomorrow.
Okay,
Say, okay, what y'all
anything.
got? And then y'all better start talking.
I can talk about anything.
There we go.
Talk about sleep.
Okay.
I'm going to go get some tests done.
We have anyone scheduled tomorrow? I don't
Not
think
yet.
so.
Not yet.
I've got to check on Peter Wright. Hopefully he's feeling better and everything is good to go on the home front. And
Yeah,
he'll
he
be
should
in
be.
here on Wednesday because we're getting really close now, y'all. It ain't that far from October, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
So, And the phone calls are still coming in.
15
I've blocked
days.
so many calls. They just changed numbers, same voice,
Different
same
number.
spiel. So, okie dokie. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. Watch out, maybe a little bit of rain today, here and there, and off and on, and stuff like that. And don't worry about the storm system, the disturbance down there in the Atlantic and the Hurricane Basin. I'll keep my eyes on that for you. So in case something pops up, we'll let you know as much in advance as possible. And
Both in Hampstead, I'm getting ready to come through your area.
Still an 80% chance now of formation for this system over the next 7 days, and it's increased to 40% chance over the next 48 hours. So it's looking like it's moved into an area that's very, very conducive that it will form into something. What's way ahead of that, we don't know yet. All depends. Have a great rest of your day.
Have
It's
a blessed
Monday, and be safe out there. You're live and local, real talk, where we're always awake, never